Looks like there are reporters coming out of the courthouse in Norfolk, and the news, of course, is that Attorney General of New York, Tish James, of course, is pled not guilty to one of Trump's latest attempts to go after his political rivals and people who've prosecuted in the past. As you can see, there's a lot of folks coming out of the courthouse. That usually means that the hearing is over. And there's a group of people standing outside the courthouse who are planning to speak. They're planning to speak and in support of James. And there's a rumor that she will speak as well. We'll see that soon or not. And looks to me like there is a lot of activity. Obviously, these are the people who are in court and they're coming out of court. There's a really stately throwback courthouse in Norfolk, Virginia that has a ton of character. Looks like something out of the 1950s or 60s. You're only getting a very tight shot of it there, but I've been in that courthouse in Norfolk, Virginia, and it is a quite interesting courthouse, a real throwback to another time, to another era. But it's a gigantic building. It might look small in the shot, but it's a big building. And as you can hear, there's some folks chanting. Let me turn that up. Yeah, we stand with James is what they're chanting. We stand with James. Looks like this is right on time so far because everybody was told this was going to happen between 10:30 and 12:30. And here it is 11:30 Eastern, and it looks like this is going to happen pretty soon. This is Lauren Burke, Lauren Live. I also own Black Virginia News, and the story being placed in Norfolk is quite something, to say the least. Who knew that was going to happen? That's because the property in question is, of course, in Norfolk, Virginia. Nah, he just told him to close the door. The marshal just told him to close the door. The U.S. Marshals are, of course, in control of these federal courthouses. You are not allowed to bring cell phones in the building, electronic devices. In this particular building, you really can't bring anything in. They don't have a lockbox to bring anything in that you could have in there. So you have to leave everything in your car. So part of what you're seeing is the reporters running out to go to their car to file. They're going to file via obviously laptop and cell phone.
I think it's for the phone cases. That lock.
Hey, Lieutenant.
I want to thank all of you. I want to. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your emails. I want to thank you for your support. It has strengthened my spirit and it has anchored my soul. And so I want to thank you. But this is not about me. This is about all of us. And about a justice system which has been weaponized. A justice system which has been used as a tool of revenge. This justice system which has been used as a tool of revenge. And a weapon against those individuals who simply did their job and who stood up for the rule of law. And a justice system which unfortunately is nothing being used as a vehicle of retribution. But my faith is strong. And my faith is, I have this belief in the justice system, in the rule of law, and I have a belief in America and all of its individuals who have stood with me, not only in New York, but all across this nation. I've heard from just about every jurisdiction in this nation who have said, stand up and be tall. And never ever cow down or back down or break or bend. So there's no fear today. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Because I believe that justice will rain down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Preach. And I'm here to say that my work job and all that I do, all throughout my public career, I've stood up for the rights of New Yorkers and Americans, and I will not be deterred. And I will not be deterred. I will not be distracted. I will do my job each and every day, and that's why I'm headed back to New York, because there's work to be done standing up for the rule of law. God bless you and thank you all, and I appreciate you.
It's unclear who she's hugging off to the side, but there are a lot of supporters in front of the Norfolk courthouse. So, sizable crowd out there in support of Tish James outside of federal court in Norfolk, Virginia. She, of course, pled not guilty to mortgage fraud. I think that it's safe to say everybody understands this is Donald Trump seeking retribution against Tish James because Tish James, in her capacity as the New York Attorney General, prosecuted Donald Trump. And now he is back for revenge. He has done the same thing to John Bolton and to James Comey. I was outside the courthouse in Alexandria for the James Comey arraignment, of course. Everyone involved has pled not guilty. All of these cases are widely expected by legal experts to be thrown out of court and not survive a motion to go forward, and in fact, will be dismissed. But you don't know that, of course, until it happens. Everyone involved has to hire criminal defense attorneys. So when you have to hire a criminal defense attorney, of course, that's a very big deal and very expensive, even for someone as prominent as Tish James. So there was a major crowd outside of court, as I think everybody could hear, but not necessarily see, as the shot widens out. Might be able to see some of the folks, but you could see on the side when Tish James went to greet somebody that there were a pretty good number of people out there, and you can tell from the sound of the audience chanting "We stand with Tish" that there was a considerable amount of folks outside in support of her. When I went to the Alexandria arraignment for James Comey, it was just basically all media, which is typically the case. I suspect that if he'd had, some people out there to support him, they would have been. There were some people in front of the courthouse with signs, standing right in front of the courthouse with signs saying, no show trial, et cetera, and so on, in support of Comey in that sense that they felt like this was a sham proceeding. But to read off for a second here, all of the folks that are expected to speak at a rally, they may have actually already have done this part because I believe this was scheduled for 10:30 this morning. So if it was scheduled 10:30 this morning, they probably already had this program outside of court before Tish James actually arrived. But there were a number of dignitaries who spoke at the courthouse in support of her, local folks and a few nationals. So Reverend Kirk Houston of Gethsemane Community Fellow Baptist Church, Norfolk City Council member J.P. Page, Aaron Rouse, who is a state senator and former NFL player, former New York Giant, and Green Bay Packer, who is a state senator, prominent state senator from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Angelia Graves Williams, another prominent state senator from Virginia, representing the 21st District in Norfolk, Virginia. Raman Fadahay is the Commonwealth's attorney of Norfolk. He spoke in support of Tish James. Gayleen Knoyton, a very prominent leader in Virginia. She is the vice president of the Virginia State NAACP. Glenda Carr, who is the president and CEO of Higher Heights. Latasha Brown, a very well known activist out of Georgia. She's the co founder of Black Voters Matter. All in support of Tish James this morning. Prominent group of people here. Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers, speaking in support of Tish James. Bishop Leah Daughtry, who's the pastor of House of the Lord Church, and of course a former CEO of the DNC, very involved in Democratic politics. A lot of people speaking in support of Tish James outside that courthouse. Very organized effort in support of her, and trying to really sort of put on the map that she is, in fact, thought about in this moment of prosecution. We've seen some very political prosecutions lately. Marilyn Mosby, James Comey, John Bolton, I would argue Andrew Gillum, and now Tish James, the sitting, incredible to say this sentence, the sitting Attorney General of New York, who of course prosecuted Donald Trump, and now he's mad, and now we have this moment outside of the Norfolk courthouse on a case involving mortgage fraud. I would invite, I'll put it in a link in the chat, in the description of this video. I would invite people to read the indictment because it is so utterly ridiculous and really a stretch. In fact, it should be noted before I stop talking here that the reason, what brought us to this moment is that Tish James, there were several people who were prosecutors who refused to prosecute and deal with this case because they viewed it as such a sham, because in fact it is a sham. So people resigning, prosecutors who don't want to have anything to do with this because it is a political move by Donald Trump, who is seeking retribution. This is the same Donald Trump that wants reparations from the Department of Justice. He wants $230 million because he was prosecuted, and now he's mad. And now he wants money. So this is the way Donald Trump rolls. Again, this case against Tish James is likely to be dismissed and is widely thought of to be a case that will be dismissed by anybody who's in the legal profession. Everyone's saying generally the same thing. This case will be dismissed. Of course, you don't know that until it happens. And quite frankly, we've seen it where people get the wrong judge, or you get a judge that just feels like, oh, I'm feeling frisky, let's have this case. I doubt that's going to happen because, to have these cases, you do need evidence, you need witnesses, you need people, you need testimony. So, and that doesn't seem to be present so far with what we know in this situation. It seems to be a pure case of retribution against Tish James. So anyway, that's a shot outside the Norfolk courthouse, Norfolk Federal Courthouse, an older building, a stately building, a building I would say out of the 50s. Real throwback, very interesting courthouse. I've been in it several times for different things, clients that I've had that needed help with communication strategy and so on. And a very wide street in front of it that allows for a lot of people to be in the street. And there's a lot of room there to do anything, to do a demonstration or to just be walking by. But these people are not walking by. They're there in support of Tish James. And that was a very loud audience in front of the courthouse. So at any rate, that's about it. There's not too much to say here because this is a relatively ridiculous situation and really something that shouldn't be happening in America. And a lot of the signs, of course, indicate that. And so I'll be back soon. I think my next live will likely be in Hampton Roads near Norfolk. Tomorrow is a homecoming for Norfolk State University, for Hampton University, and Virginia State University. 3 homecomings in Virginia on the same day. And yes, at the same time, which is crazy but true. And there it is. So Tish James did make remarks, which was expected. And you would notice from those remarks, she doesn't get too deeply into the case or anything. Some very general thoughts of thanking her supporters outside the courthouse. And then she was done. So at any rate, this is Lauren Burke. This is Lauren Live, and I will be back very soon. Thanks for joining.